One bang per customer, causal confinement and observational singularity. The most immediate objection to any reinterpretation of the Big Bang is simple and persistent. If bang-like events can occur elsewhere, why do we only observe one? This paper exists to answer that question cleanly, without invoking anthropic reasoning, observer specialness, or speculative frameworks. The answer is not philosophical, it is causal. Each universe experiences exactly one origin event within its observable domain because observers are confined to a single space-time sheet. The limitation is structural, not contingent. In relativistic physics, observation is inseparable from causal reach. An observer can only detect events whose signals intersect their world line. This constraint is absolute. It does not depend on technology, time, or perspective. If two events do not share a causal pathway, then for all operational purposes, they are mutually non-existent. This is not an epistemic limitation, it is a geometric one. Causality defines what can be known because it defines what can interact. Under the terrain framework, a bang is not merely a moment in time, but a causal boundary. It is the earliest surface from which signals can propagate into a given space-time region. Everything observable lies to one side of that surface. Whatever lies beyond it, whether nothing, something else, or another geometric continuation, is causally disconnected by construction. The bang functions as a one-way interface, not a repeatable event within the same sheet. This leads directly to the one bang per customer principle. A customer here is not a conscious observer, a species, or a privileged frame. It is a space-time sheet with its own causal structure. Within that structure, there can be only one origin surface, because causal paths do not loop back across such boundaries. Once a space-time region is defined, its causal past is fixed. There is no mechanism within known physics by which multiple independent bang surfaces could all feed into the same causal domain. If they did, they would not be independent. They would be the same event described differently. The reason multiple bangs are unobservable is therefore not accidental. It is guaranteed by causal confinement. If another bang-like event occurs elsewhere, it necessarily defines a different space-time region with its own causal past and future. Observers within one region cannot see into another any more than they can see past their own event horizon. This is not a flaw in the theory. It is the same principle that already prevents observers from seeing beyond cosmic horizons today. This also explains why the objection itself arises so naturally. Human intuition expects repeated causes to produce repeated observable effects, but that intuition comes from systems where all events occur within a shared causal container. Space-time does not work that way. A bang is not an explosion inside space. It is the boundary that defines which space exists for a given observer. Asking why we do not see more bangs is like asking why we do not see beyond the edge of our light cone. The question presumes a shared arena that the physics explicitly denies. Importantly, this argument does not rely on anthropic selection. It does not claim we see one bang because we could not exist otherwise. It claims we see one bang because causal structure permits only one to be visible within a given space-time sheet. The confinement applies equally to any possible observer, regardless of nature or location. It is geometry enforcing exclusivity, not chance or necessity enforcing preference. This confinement is already implicit in standard cosmology. The Big Bang is treated as a unique boundary condition for our universe, because there is no causal access to anything prior or external to it. The reinterpretation offered elsewhere in this work does not change that operational fact. It explains why the boundary exists, not how many we should expect to see. The answer remains one. This paper exists as reviewer defense because the objection it addresses is not wrong-headed. It is reasonable under everyday assumptions. The problem is that those assumptions do not apply to causal structure. Once causal confinement is acknowledged, the objection dissolves. Each space-time region gets exactly one bang, not by decree, but by definition. One bang per customer is not a joke. It is a statement about how causality partitions reality.